Afternoon. Thanks to everybody for coming. We'll call this hearing to order. Today the committee will examine two bills, S-465, Independent Outside Audit of the Indian Health Services Act 2017, and S-1400, Safeguarding Tribal Objects of Patrimony Act of 2017. On February 28, 2017, Senator Rounds introduced S-465, the Independent Outside Audit of the Indian Health Service Act of 2017. Senators Lankford and McCain are co-sponsors. At this time, there is no House companion bill. The bill S-465 would mandate a reputable private entity to conduct an independent assessment of the healthcare delivery system and financial management processes of the Indian Health Service within the Department of Health and Human Services. The assessment is intended to lead to recommendations on how the IHS, tribes, and other stakeholders can improve health care delivery and service provided by the IHS. Indian patients have suffered from the inefficiency and mismanagement at various levels of IHS for too long. The poor decision-making by the IHS has even led the Government Accountability Office to place the agency on their high-risk list. I've chaired two committee hearings on this problem this year alone, and I intend to hold another one next spring to ensure that IHS comes off the high-risk list. In a moment, I'll turn to Senator Rounds so he can speak more on his bill, S-465. I know that Senator Rounds and his staff have already made improvements to the bill. I appreciate his efforts here, as well as IHS, the Indian Health Service, for providing technical drafting edits. I look forward to hearing from the administration on those. Also, on June 21, 2017, Senator Heinrich introduced S-1400, the Safeguard Tribal Objects of Patrimony Act 2017. Senators Udall, Daines, Flake, McCain, Murkowski, Schatz, and Tester are all original co-sponsors of the bill. Senators Lankford and Crapo were recently added. There is a House companion bill, H.R. 3211, sponsored by Representative Lujan. This legislation is centered on providing additional legal protection to Native American tribal artifacts and sacred objects by amending the Archaeological Resources Protection Act of 1979, the American Grave Protection and Repatriation Act, and other federal laws which serve to protect and preserve Native cultural heritage. Among other things, S-1400 provides increased criminal penalties for repeat traffickers of Native American human remains or cultural items. It bans the export of illegally obtained Native American cultural objects and sets penalties for violations of this ban. To incentivize repatriation, the bill allows immunity from prosecution if an individual voluntarily surrenders to the appropriate tribe all Native American cultural objects in possession not later than 2 years after enactment of this bill. In addition, the bill would require the Government Accountability Office report on the number of Native American cultural objects illegally trafficked and the extent to which the Department of Justice has prosecuted cases of trafficking. The GAO must also recommend actions to eliminate such trafficking and to secure the repatriation of Native American cultural objects. Lastly, the Department of the Interior is directed to convene a tribal working group to contribute information to the GAO report and advise on how best to implement the GAO's recommendation. Before we hear from the witnesses on these bills, I would like to turn to Vice Chairman Udall for any opening statement he might have.